hot.
Yeah.
Container, we talked about the water bottles. 1 liter water bottle like that, a liter of water will get you through a quarter of a day. Generally, you need at least a gallon of water, especially in stressful situations. You can live on half a gallon of water a day. You can survive on 64 ounces of water a day. Okay? You're not going to be happy, you're not going to be healthy, but you can live. Okay? So, worst case scenario, if you can boil water in that twice in a day, you have clean drinking water to be used to drink, to wash, whatever. This is a 40-ounce water bottle. The great thing about these water bottles, even the cheap, you get them $3-4 at the dollar store. As long as they don't have a spray-in coating inside, best way to find out to boil water in them. When it comes out, scrub the crap out of it. Try it again. When you're boiling water and nothing else is floating to the top, your bottle's clean. You can drink out of it now. They'll work. Cheap piece of baling wire. You buy a $2 or $3 bottle, get a cheap coat hanger or baling wire, and just wrap it around the neck so you have a bail or something to pick it up with, because once it's boiling, it's hot. You probably shouldn't touch it. Yeah, something like this. You get this stainless steel, whether it's a clean canteen or whatever name brand or off brand, whatever. You get it in here with this bottle hanger, and you can hang it over the fire. Boil the water. Okay. Pull it. They actually make a cook kit. Canterbury sells a cook kit, stainless steel, where there's a couple of nesting pots that have their own handles on them, but the lids just have a D-ring on top, and you actually put this inside the D-ring, and now it's a skillet. You can flip it right over and it's a skillet. You can fry on it, you can heat up stuff on it, whatever. But not that I'm pimping out Canterbury stuff, but he's done research and he's a lot of the stuff he uses.
That's true. Anything that he's using, so
yeah,
at least you know it's not.
He's not just selling it as a gimmick. That's a couple of my buddies have gone to a lot of his training. One of them's actually an acolyte instructor. He can teach the first 3 levels of Canterbury training. Certified under Dave Canterbury, you can just go teach it. And he knows his stuff. I mean, the stuff he uses, it works and it's effective. It's not just, hey, this is cool, use it because I said. Use it because it works. But any kind of container, stainless water bottles, durable, can be used to boil or purify water. Another thing, stainless water bottle, if you use bleach crystals, iodine tablets, it's not going to hold that taste. So yes, you might have to drink crappy pure water to get back to where you can drink really clean water again, but you get a plastic Nalgene bottle and drop your iodine tablets in it, eventually that iodine flavor is going to stay. You do that a few times and eventually you're going to get clean water, put it in there and be like, oh, I thought I was in civilization now. I didn't realize I had to drink the mercurochrome. But so a stainless water bottle is a good idea. Not cheap. You can get the cheap ones at dollar stores, Harbor Freight, whatever. They work. Again, they've generally got some kind of spray-in coating to make them food safe. It's not the same quality of stainless steel. It's not a food grade stainless steel. Sure, it'll work. I'd rather drink water boiled in a non-food grade stainless steel bottle and live 3 days to get home than die of a parasite on day 2 or what have you. Another thing that I throw in, talking about water purification, generally I keep 2 or 3 doses of Imodium in my kit. So if I can't purify water, I can at least keep the hydration in my body until I can get to civilization. If it's going to be more than 3 or 4 days, then it could end up rough. But I can keep from, pardon the expression, crapping myself to death with dysentery or diarrhea. So from waterborne pathogens or parasites.
Another thing too, today you mentioned about water bottles. Sometimes you get them, they're insulated.
Yeah, an insulated water bottle, you got to get a single wall water bottle. Even if it's just a dual wall water bottle, what's going to happen is as it heats up, they're going to expand and contract at different rates. So you're going to end up with a leaky bottle. It's going to leak. It's not going to be, even if it's just two layers of steel without any insulation between them, eventually they're going to separate and leak. So a canteen and canteen cup is a great way to go. They're pretty cheap, $10-12 at a surplus store. And again, I can't tell you how many people have had their daily coffee for months at a time out of a canteen cup. So, it happens.
Now, boiling in aluminum, is there any problems with that? I've heard people debate that about boiling stuff in aluminum containers.
Most of the aluminum containers that you're gonna get that you're gonna boil in, they're gonna have a coating in them. It's not gonna be a soft coating, it'll be an anodizing or something like that to keep it from leaching. But yeah, cooking or boiling water in aluminum, just straight aluminum container. For instance, you know, you find you scavenge an aluminum bottle from some other source, you know what I mean? Boiling in it is gonna cause materials to leach into the water. Now, 20 years from now, that could cause you to have Alzheimer's, it could cause you to have dementia, it could cause you to have mental problems. But for this week, I get to go home.
Right.
So I'll worry about that later. Just like boiling in a plastic cup, you're cooking BPA's right into your water. You're cooking things that in short-term versus long-term. You know what, I don't want any BPA in my body, so I'm not gonna boil water in that bottle. So, you know, yes, I won't catch that disease 25 years down the road. Of course, I might not make it 72 hours without fresh water.
Find out.
Priorities.
So, right, yeah. You know what, I really love to be able to go to a doctor's appointment in 15 years and find out that boiling water in that bottle maybe wasn't such a good idea. That's 15 years of whatever I choose to do between.
It might be 15 years of life.
So that's a container, some kind of container. Okay, number 5, 5C is cordage. I've been teaching hunter ed and taught some stuff with the Boy Scouts years ago, and been teaching hunter ed about 10 years. Done some taken some survival training, survival classes, instructed some basic survival training, survival classes. My buddy calls me Captain Cordage. You give me enough string and rope, I'll build you a city. I can make, if I have cordage, if I have, you know, string, twine, whatever, I can make the things I need to get me to the things I need to get me, you know, to keep upgrading. You can make cordage in the wild. There's a lot of different materials you can make string, twine, rope, so forth out of, but it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of resources, it takes a lot of energy. And while you're spending a day making 15 feet of cordage so you can lash up a shelter, you could have used the 20 feet of cordage that it didn't weigh anything, carried around all day and never realize it's there. You carry it every day, forget you have it. You could use this to make a shelter and use the rest of the 12 hours in the day to do other things like purify water and make sure you have enough debris in your debris shelter to keep you warm. And, I'd rather carry 50 feet of bank line or mason's twine and use that to make what I need than spend the day that it would take to make 50 feet cordage. You know what I mean? So, for my EDC, everyday carry, I carry between 30 and 100 feet of bank line, depending on if it's just in my pockets. I've got probably 15, 20 feet here of bank line. I also carry 12 or 15 feet of paracord. If you guys know anything about paracord, it's an outer shell with 7 strands inside. Each one of those strands can be used for a lashing or a tie down or whatever, and then the outer shell can be used as well. I have mason's line that I like to use, a braided nylon mason's line. I actually don't know where it is in that here. But on my person, I carry these two all the time. This is 10 or 12 feet of bank line. I know we've all seen the paracord bracelets. I think Brady's probably wearing one. He's got a leash made out of one. So if he had to hog tie his dog, he would still have plenty left over to make a shelter. But yeah, a little bit of paracord on your person is a great thing to do. And I have people ask, well, what could you use it for? You can use it for a ton of stuff. Making a shelter, making a seat, making something to keep you up off the wet ground. Just a simple throwing of boughs to keep you off the wet ground so the ground's not stealing your heat. Simple stuff that can really better your quality of life. Yeah, I mean, who knows? But like I said, everyday carry, 20, 30 feet of bank line, 12 or 15 feet of paracord in my bag, my EDC bag. Here's another 50 feet of bank line, okay? There's another, I can't remember, 30 to 40 feet of paracord. And there's also a chunk of mason's twine in there that's 30 to 40 feet. Mason's twine is just a little lighter tensile strength than bank line, but it's more pliable. If I was going to build a quick brush shelter, just bend over 2 or 3 saplings. I would just use a mason's line. So if I don't want to take it apart to save that cordage, I'm not losing a whole lot. I would use a mason's line for small lashings on things instead of taking the time to separate out the bank line or whatever. Bank line, everybody know what bank line is? It's a wound nylon cordage that it's tarred. It's got a tar covering coating on it. It's very abrasion resistant, very rot resistant. It doesn't. A lot of people use it for decoy lines on duck decoys and stuff like that. Trot lines, this is great stuff for trot lines. Yeah. Again, I bought mine off of Canterbury's website. You can get it at Gander, you can get it at Cabela's, you can get it at Bass Pro. But
Tarred bank line,
yeah,
it's not tarred.
well, you can get it not tarred, and the not tarred stuff in a non-marine or non-wet environment, it's fine.
Seems like tarred doesn't last long too.
It does.
Storage.
It does.
It decreases friction, right?
But the non-tarred stuff is also easier to separate out if you're going to use it for separate. You know, if you're going to take this, it's 3 strands wound together, and you got to separate it out to use for fishing line or to use to sew up a ripped garment or a tarp. The tar makes it a lot harder to get apart. But you know, $18 for. I ordered 3 spools. You got the number 30, 32 or 36?
36.
Number 36.
16, 36, I think is the popular.
I got 12 and 36. The number 36 bank line has a tensile strength of almost 400 pounds, 378 pounds. Yeah. And it's thinner than paracord. Okay.
It is.
The number 12, 110 pound tensile strength. So in all honesty, I could take 30 feet of number 12 bank line. In about 15 minutes, I could braid it into 300 pound cordage. Okay. So, you know, I got a spool of number 12. He got one of number 12 and number 36. The spool of number 12, it's $18 plus shipping. I think it was, I ordered them together, so shipping was about $8, split between the 3 rolls. So we're talking $20 a roll. The number 12 has 1,580 feet of line. I'll never use it all. So when it comes to cordage, in my bug out bag, I've got 20 feet of good braided nylon rope. Should I have to make a rescue, should I have to, I've got 15 to 16 feet of decent strength braided, diamond braid nylon to make a Swiss seat out of, and then I've got 20 feet that I could haul a person or 2 with if I needed to. It takes up a lot of space, so I don't try to get a lot of it in there. I could double or triple paracord in a pinch, and you know, it takes up a lot less space than a good climb rope or you know, 3/8 or a 1/2 inch climb rope does. But I do have a section of good diamond braid nylon. It's good wear resistance, doesn't rot if it gets wet, and so on and so forth. Just make sure it's solid diamond braid and it doesn't have that flimsy core in the middle with just a sheathing on the outside.
Good to throw in the car.
Yeah.
You don't want to keep your bag.
Right. Well, in my bug out bag, I've got, you know, if I've got to go, I've got a bag ready, and I've got a 20-foot section should I have to make a rescue or get somebody out of the ditch or culvert, whatever the case may be. Don't forget your belt counts as cordage. The belt I wear has a tensile strength. If you were to hook the buckle on one end and a clamp on the other and pull with it, the stitches that hold the buckle in place would break about 8,400 pounds. If you could just clamp to the material, you get over 10,000 pounds with it. So, should I have to throw something down into a culvert or down into a ditch or down into, you know, I can use my belt to pull a person up, no problem. Especially if you give, you know, it can be pretty effective. Okay? You're not limited to what I'm listing here. Think about what you have in your possession at your home, in your shop, in your garage, your shed that you could use. I was told there would be punch and pie.